Hello guys, if you're watching this video, then probably you're looking for a bike in the budget section, probably a locally made bike. So let me just take you to the two bikes that I have purchased. These are the Schnell bikes. Now the Schnell is actually a Pune based company. It's not a German company, although the name Schnell sounds like a German company. Schnell is a Pune based company trying to cash in on the German name, but these are really good bikes. In fact, these bikes are not really budget bikes. The Schnell Flash SR, this is the Flash SR bike. There's also a Flash Junior bike, which looks less premium. Now, this bike costs around 17,500, including taxes. And the Jaguar, which is a premium version of the bike, which is one of the premium segments of the Schnell series, uh, costs around 22,000 including taxes. Now this is the Jaguar version 1. There are two more variants, the updated variants, which is the Jaguar 2 and the Jaguar 3, which comes with upgraded specs like better disc brakes and better forks. Now let me just tell you the difference between these two bikes. The obvious difference is that this has a glossy finish and this has a matte finish. I like the matte finish on the Flash SR bike. It has this orange color and this orange accents, which gives it a premium feel, although it is less expensive than the Jaguar bike. Now, mind you, the new version of Flash doesn't come in this accented orange accents. The Jaguar one, on the other hand, has some premium specs. So the extra price that you pay is primarily for the rear derailleur, which is the Shimano Altus, whereas the rear derailleur on the Flash bike is the Shimano Tourney. Also, the Jaguar has Shimano group set. So you can see the Shimano group set, the cox as well as the flywheel is of Shimano. If you look at the front fork, this is from the SR Suntor. This is not a hydraulic suspension, this is normal suspension, but still it's much better and very comfortable. In fact, this is one of the key feature of this bike. Now when compared to Schnell in Flash SR bike, this has an unbranded front fork, but these are good. I mean, it does the work. The bike really feels comfortable even on roads, bad roads, potholes. Didn't feel any issues with the front suspension, but these are not that comfortable as the SR Suntor forks are. The flywheel, the cogs are definitely of Shimano. The rear derailleur is the Shimano Tourney, which is good, but the Shimano Altus is much more smoother in shifting. Now, the flywheel is of Promax. If you look carefully, you can see the Promax logo over here, although it's not visible now. This is an old bike, it's almost more than a year. The brakes are the Zoom disc brakes. Let me just focus on the brakes. The tires look cool. Both are Kenda tires. Let me just zoom in on the brakes. So these are the Zoom disc brakes. These brakes are quite reliable. In fact, initially these brakes were very reliable, but eventually the brakes has lost its stopping power. And one of the reason for that is when I gave this bike for service, the service guy accidentally spilled some oil onto the brake pads. Now, after that, I never actually got this. I mean, I was never able to get this bike, get the brakes of this bike back to working. So I changed the brake pads. I even changed the disc rim, but still, it's not that reliable. It serves the purpose, but it doesn't have the stopping power it had initially. Now, although the flywheel of this bike uh, is from Pro Max, but this bike really is very comfortable to ride. In fact, it's much more comfortable to ride than the Jaguar. And don't get me wrong, the Jaguar is a premium bike. It has premium components. It's just that when you're trying to accelerate the bike from rest, it's much more easier to do that on this bike. It's as if it transmits power much more efficiently initially on this bike, but definitely after you reach a 28, 26 kilometers per hour speed, you can see the difference between these two bikes. This bike can actually accelerate better than that bike, but the effect is visible only after you reach the 26 kilometer speed. So I'm going to pan in the camera to show the difference between these two bikes. You can have a look at these two bikes. One more thing, you can, if you notice carefully, the Flash SR has these weld marks, which is visible on any hardtail bike. In fact, these marks are even visible on if you purchase the bikes of Coast bikes or Relic bike or any branded company bike. And if you look at the Jaguar frame, strangely, there are no welding marks. It's as if there's a welding mark over here, but there are no weld marks in the top. It's concealed. Even the weld marks over here, you don't see any weld marks over here. So it looks like a carbon frame, but it's not a carbon frame. It's an alloy 6061 frame. So these two bikes are quite reliable, and if you are planning to purchase a bike and if you have any inhibitions about purchasing Schnell bikes, I would say you can go for the Schnell bike. There aren't any issues in these bikes, but if you're trying to purchase a budget bike, I would recommend do not go for the fancy stuff. Don't go for disc brakes. Now look at this bike. This has a Tektro ring brake, and this brake is so much better, leaps and bounds better than the disc brake on the Flash bike. These are really, really good brakes. It has very good stopping power. It's very reliable. So I would suggest if you're purchasing a bike, don't go with the fancy stuff. Get a bike which, even if it doesn't have a front suspension, if especially if you're riding it on roads, it doesn't really matter because uh, the front suspension, if you're going to purchase a front suspension from a branded company like SR Suntour, it's going to get expensive. So a normal bike with no front suspension, normal ring brakes is going to do a good job. So I would suggest don't go with the fancy stuff. Stick to the simple stuff if you're on a tight budget, but get good components because that's what it matters. So I hope this video was helpful in helping you decide to purchase a good bike. There are plenty of other options available. Schnell is not the only company. There are many other companies, even Indian companies like UT from Hero. LA Sovereign is a good company. Now, these are the not so premium bikes, but these are definitely much better bikes than the average Hero bike that you see on the streets. So I'm going to pan in so that you can have a better look. So that's it. And in case if you're wondering what these bar ends are, these bar ends did not come with the bike. I have installed it separately. These are the between bar ends. They provide some extra hand positions which are quite comfortable when riding on long rides. So thank you for watching this video. Hope this video is helpful. Thank you.